hello, or maybe how, if you want to be stereotypical. The 7th is made up of Phantoms, which is all about the battle at Little Bighorn, at which General Custer died, lost massively to the Sioux Indians. The episode is all about these 3 National Guardsmen who are out on maneuvers or war games, and they encounter a Twilight Zone thing and end up right in the middle of the battle. So it starts with this little scout back in the 1800s, and he takes an arrow to the back. Now, as far as I can make out, having looked at this footage, I think he's carrying a board on his back, under his jacket, and they actually shoot him. Because it's not a fixed thing behind him, it's not a reverse shot thing, and there's no wire that I can tell. It's a very lovely effect that he goes thunk, because he's actually taking an arrow to the back. I don't think many people would dare to do that now. So that's nice. You can't do a convincing sort of signal fire on a hill, at least not that easy, and you certainly can't emulate a ravaging horde of Indians throwing up a lot of dust. So they did a plate glass shot of both the signal fire and the dust that's being thrown up. I think it works really quite well. If you don't know what you're looking for, you're not going to spot it. It's just me being a nerd. So this entire episode is so much like a movie from 1980 called The Final Countdown, in which the aircraft carrier, the USS Nimitz, gets zapped back from 1980 to 1941, and they are listening to the chatter just before the Battle of, I think it's Pearl Harbor. Yeah, it has to be Pearl Harbor. And they have to decide whether or not they want to intervene, like throw the might of the full aircraft carrier from 40 years in the future into this battle, which would of course have ended it immediately. It reminds me a lot of this sort of idea. But these 3 guardsmen never ever consider whether or not they should intervene. It's always very clear cut for them that they should. They're here to save American lives and just kill those engines, which, I mean, and also, of course, they risk subjecting the world to this horrible paradox in which if they actually intervene and if they actually make a difference, then they could be undoing the reason why they would do that. And that creates a paradox, which is, quite bad for everyone concerned. So let's hope that they don't manage that. Or at least that's the idea. There's a car passing in the background. I mean, they're far away from everything, but there's a car passing in the background. A bit difficult to spot. When they're talking about, how this is going to set up. And then McCluskey takes an arrow to the back. They pull it out, and then he keeps walking. A bit iffy, I must say, because an arrow to the back, I mean, either it just nicks sort of muscle in the back, or it bounces off your shoulder blade. Could penetrate your shoulder blade and nick some muscle, I guess. But then the shoulder blade is cracked, and if you walk, you're moving your shoulders, it would hurt. And he's leaning on his friends. Not a good idea. And if the arrow goes deeper, then pretty much the only thing they can hit at that point is either the spine, and he's not moving, or the lungs, at which point he's not moving. So him walking around, even being, supported, and then at the end sort of going, I got my gun, I can do this. Not really how that works. The final shot is of the captain looking at the memorial for the battle. And that's not the real monument. It's not the real cemetery. I don't think the stone is real. Well, it's not real, but I don't think there is one like that in Montana where the actual thing is. And the obelisk with the names on it has a lot more names on it than the one in the episode. And those 3 names do not feature. I went to such extreme lengths that I looked up all of the soldiers who died in that battle, and these guys are not in that registry. So they didn't pull names from the registry or from the obelisk. They recreated an obelisk somewhere in, Southern California. So a lot of these episodes will alien worlds, Montana, Maine, England, whatever, tends to look like Southern California because there's a rule that the union has in place that says that you have to pay more if you move a certain distance away from the studio where people work. So they only drive to a certain distance, which means that stuff tends to look very local to the Hollywood area. And that's the same here. I am betting they just got a field, built a graveyard, shot this, tore it back down, which means the monolith is smaller, there are fewer amount of gravestones, all that kind of stuff. It's fair. The monolith, the obelisk, is not entirely dissimilar to what the real one in Montana looks like, but it's not the one. And next week, we're gonna not age with a short drink from a certain fountain. Take care now. Bye.